There are 3 words in the German language that have the same translation into English, even though they mean different things. How is this possible? Well, this is one of the many cases in German where the English language relies more on context within the conversation to determine meaning, whereas the German language allows you to be very precise. The 3 words in German are Mindestens, zumindest, and wenigstens. All 3 of these can translate into English as at least, but that's a problem, because the expression at least in English has 2 different meanings depending on how you use it. Perhaps you're counting a minimum number of persons, places, or things. For example, there are at least 10 people in this park. Es gibt mindestens 10 Menschen in diesem Park. Okay, but perhaps you're speaking more figuratively, or maybe you're looking for something good in something bad that's happened. For example, my girlfriend left me, but at least I still have my dog. Meine Freundin hat mich verlassen, aber wenigstens habe ich noch meinen Hund. If you're looking for a mnemonic to help distinguish the difference between these 2, think about it like this. If you're counting a minimum number of person, places, or things, then the word you're probably looking for is mindestens. Both minimum and mindestens start with min. If you're looking for the other meaning, then you probably want wenigstens or zumindest. And yes, I'll take a quick sidetrack here to mention that the word minimum exists in German also and has the same meaning as in English, so I'm going to leave that one off to the side because its usage should be fairly intuitive. Let's leave that one to the side and talk about the other 3. So, are wenigstens and zumindest perfectly interchangeable? Well, it depends who you talk to. The dictionary lists them as synonyms, and indeed many German people do consider them perfectly interchangeable, but not all German people do. This might be a regional thing. There's a different shade of meaning between the 2, and in fact, I'll throw a wrench in the works to say that all 3 words could be used to mean at least in the sense of like the least you could do. For example, you could have at least called. Du hättest mindestens anrufen können. Du hättest wenigstens anrufen können. Du hättest zumindest anrufen können. All 3 of those work in German as a translation for you could have at least called, but they convey different shades of meaning or different tones. Mindestens sounds pretty brutal. The better translation in English for that one would be, the very least you could have done is call. It sounds like I'm angry, like I'm upset. Wenigstens has more of a whiny or perhaps more of a pessimistic quality to it, like, you could have at least called, why didn't you call? Oh! Whereas zumindest is kind of neutral. It's just a statement of fact. I'm not angry, I'm not upset, I'm not whining. It's just, you could have at least called. It's just a straight up statement of fact. Now this is pretty subtle, and it's not universal. There are some Germans who consider wenigstens and zumindest perfectly interchangeable, so that doesn't really help you. The general takeaway here, the general rule of thumb as a language learner should be this. If you're making a quantitative statement, if you're counting stuff, you probably want the word mindestens. If you're making a qualitative statement, either literally or figuratively, you probably want either wenigstens or zumindest, and I think you could probably use those 2 interchangeably. If it is a mistake, it would be a pretty minor mistake. Now, a brief side note, there's related expressions in German. For example, the least you could do. The equivalent of that in German would be das Mindeste. Das ist das Mindeste, was du tun könntest. That is the least you could do. And the opposite of mindestens, if you want to say there are at most 500 people in this park today, you could say es gibt höchstens 500 Menschen in diesem Park. Höchstens is the opposite of mindestens. It means at most. So hopefully that clears up any confusion between these 3 words in the German language. And that may seem complicated, but hey, at least we learned something today.